What's up, guys? Universal Mastery. So what I do on my channel is I talk about the occult sciences, and what we're going to be talking about today is how do you lucid dream. So if you want to know how to do that and you want to know more about lucid dreaming, stay tuned. Alright, so the first thing that I want to talk about when it comes to lucid dreaming is I want to talk about what is lucid dreaming. Like, what is it? What can you expect when you lucid dream? What does it even look like? Okay, because I know there's going to be some people that are watching this that, you know, may not fully understand like what lucid dreaming really is. And I have definitely had a lucid dream before. Very powerful and potent lucid dream. And I'm also going to go into depth about how lucid dreams can benefit you and how you can use them to your advantage, how you can use them in practical application to become more powerful and to become more effective in all the areas of life that you need to be effective to achieve the goals that you want to achieve. So lucid dreaming is when you are sleeping, or it is when you are in a state where you are pretty much sleeping. Usually manifests when you're sleeping. So a lucid dream will be you're dreaming. Excuse me. A lucid dream will be you'll be sleeping. You'll have a dream. Next thing you know, you're going to come to conscious awareness in your dream state. Now, there's different levels of lucid dreaming. Some people will come to that conscious awareness in their dream, but they're not able to necessarily control what's going on in the dream. So they're just very aware that they're in the dream, and now they're doing things that they normally probably wouldn't do or experience on the physical world. So that's one form of lucid dreaming. I've had that happen before, and I'm sure some of you have as well. Now, there's another level of lucid dreaming where you come to conscious awareness and in your dream, and you actually take full control of your body. You take full control of your astral self while you're in that dream plane, and you literally realize you're dreaming, and you actually start to define the dream. You start to literally move the dream in the areas that you want to move it. And yes, there's probably still going to be some things that are very random, some things that, well, I don't want to necessarily say random. They may seem random, but they probably have a lot of purpose to it. So you want to dive into that as best as you can. But you will experience maybe some weird things, but you will be in full control of your body. Okay, you will be in full control of your movements. You'll be in full control of what you do and what you say to people and how people respond to you. It's a pretty cool thing. So now my experience with lucid dreaming is I came to full awareness and consciousness in my dream, and I realized that everything would happen the way that I wanted it to. So I would literally go up to things, like let's say there was a cup on this table in front of me that I wanted. I would just put my hand out and it would fly to my hand. And this is real. Like, this is like, it felt real. Like this felt like real life. And and in that lucid state and in that lucid dream, I knew I was dreaming, but it still felt so real. It was a very interesting, and it was a very good feeling. And then I go out and I'm talking to people on the street, and I'm literally reading their mind. And through my mind, I'm telling them what I want them to pick up from what I'm trying to speak to them. So, in normal reality, a lot of times we try to communicate with people and they don't really understand what we're really trying to say. Well, it was like in this lucid dream, I would talk to people, and they would automatically, I would like tune into their psyche and tell them exactly what I mean, and they would automatically just like understand, like fully. And then, that was a very interesting thing. It was very cool. But a big aspect of those dreams for me was the ability to move objects with my hands, the ability to move things with my hands, and the way that I would, once again, the way that I would talk to people and they would instantly understand. So the way that I can, once, as I woke up from that dream, and when I looked at it that next morning, I realized that there's some key aspects there. There's some key pieces of understanding and gnosis that I can really take from this that are very important. And those keys were communication and actually being able to move stuff with my hands. Now, this may sound a little out there, this may sound a little bit crazy, but these are all things that are possible, especially when it comes down to the Egyptian pantheon, and even the Atlantean pantheon, which predates the Egyptians. But we'll stick to the Egyptian pantheon, where we always wonder, how did they build those pyramids? You know what I mean? How did they build those pyramids? We all wonder that stuff. It's almost like it's almost like impossible. Well, they use very advanced technologies through vibration, and some say that Thoth, meaning Thoth could have actually been, I believe Thoth was a person, but the energy and the spirit of Thoth was very heavily influencing a certain person or persons, and it caused, they said that Thoth would vibrate a certain sequence of, you could say, noises or sounds, and go, and through the vibration, through the intention of actually grabbing onto objects, and with that vibration, with whatever ancient and secret codes that they knew about, through their vibrations, they would lift the objects up. And they were also, using, I'm sure they were using crystals. They were also using different forms of energy to help condense it so that they could move these objects. But they say that that's, how that happened. So this is a very possible thing. And to this day, there are people that are able to move objects without touching them. I mean, let's look at David Blaine for an example. Let's look at some of the magicians, that are out today, that are some of the most powerful magicians when it comes to like magic, like MAGIC, not ICK. Now, a lot of these magicians that are into that kind of magic also are into the occult. Okay, so they do have these connections, and they do, they really do use spirits, and they use these planetary powers to help do what they do. So it is a very possible thing. So when that happened for me, those were the two keys that I got out of my lucid dream. That my communication is the key. That is my purpose. That is something that I'm going to master, and that gave me an extra sense of motivation to want to master it on that level where I can communicate with somebody and instantly they understand what I'm trying to say, and they resonate with it, and I can pretty much manifest whatever situations I want, because people will understand what I'm trying to do and what I'm trying to say, without there being too much bullshit or too much blockages where we can't communicate. So that was a big key. And then once again, being able to move objects. This is getting on advanced levels. But yeah, so I took those keys from my lucid dream and I sat with them, and they helped motivate me into me taking different studies. They helped motivate me into me hanging out with certain types of people. They helped motivate me into going down certain roads. So that one lucid dream, because I had such a profound experience, caused me to shift my actual reality, caused me to change, caused me to make different decisions than I was currently making, to figure out more about how can I achieve these, those powers. And through that's a big deal. That's essentially changing my life. That changed who I am. And I'm now, that whole thing that I told you about Thoth, where he would move objects through vibration, I didn't necessarily know that. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know that until, I started paying attention to it, until I started diving into it, and then I started figuring these things out. Not everyone knows about this stuff. So yeah, so that's an important thing when it comes to lucid dreams. For those of you who have had a lucid dream before, and for those of you who are planning on having a lucid dream, is when you do, you want to be very aware of the importance of what's actually going on in that dream. You know what I mean? Enjoy yourself, have fun, experiment with crazy things. but be aware of what you're experimenting with. Be aware of what you're choosing to do, because these are all signs that you're supposed to be able to do in this world today, on earth today. Okay, it's just a reflection of what it's trying to show you what you're capable of. So that's that. Now I want to go into the technique that I used to have this lucid dream, because I didn't just randomly have this lucid dream. There was an actual technique that I used, and it's very similar to the video before this one about astral projection. So in that video I was talking about, it's important to work with a spirit and to gain a connection with your higher self or with spirits, and then do rituals to help focus in and improve these specific psychic senses or specific abilities. That is so key. I mean, if you're into magic and you're not doing rituals, or you're not practicing with rituals, look, this is the thing. There are some people that do not do rituals because they're afraid they're going to do it wrong. That's not a good mindset. You need to practice doing a ritual, because you will never know if you're going to be right until you actually are wrong. Okay, so let's say you do a ritual, it's not successful. Okay, whatever state of mind that you were in when you did that ritual, it didn't work. So that is never going to work again. Do not do that. Now, let's say you go back into that same ritual and you change your state of mind. You start setting up some aesthetics that get your subconscious mind more in the state that it needs to be in. And then next thing you know, a couple days later, 3 days later, whatever it was that you did in that ritual, that your intention was to manifest, or was to create, or was to feel, or was to experience, and then that will actually, let's say that actually happened to you, you actually experience it in your day-to-day life. That's a very powerful moment for any magician, when you realize that you know how to create a successful ritual. That's a very powerful and important moment. But you won't know until you try. Okay, it's okay to mess up. Okay, like, the spirit world is not here to shame you on those things. If you continue to do rituals from the wrong state of mind, and you just keep hitting that barrier, and you're just being stupid about it, and you're just like, oh, well, it didn't work, like, no, it didn't work, I didn't win the lottery, boom, boom, and you just keep going at it like that, yeah, you might get some backlash. You might get some spiritual, let's say, pushback. But the truth is that you will never know until you try. And these spirits are very accommodating. They are very dangerous. They are very powerful. They are very dark. They also are very light. They're very strong. They're very wise. But they are intelligent enough to know that you need to practice, right? They're intelligent enough to know that you need to experience, what it's like to be in the right state of mind. When I first got into magic, I was not in the right state of mind, and Lucifer showed me that really quick. I mean, very quick. But it was just like, I went into it with the wrong state of mind. Like, there's no, like, I gotta be perfect and then do it. So my advice that I'm trying to give to you, long story short, is you gotta start to learn how to create your own rituals. You can start with very small ones, like literally just say, I want to experience this. Like, I want to experience a massive sense of awareness, and then go ahead and create a ritual. Create a ritual, like create your own ritual. You don't have to listen to anybody else. This is your own ritual. And then write out, but connect it also to either your higher self or your spirit guides. I would recommend doing both. So find a specific spirit that is a spirit that's, you could say, your patron or patroness, a very important spirit in your life. Probably is going to be something along the lines of an ancestral spirit. If not, there's some other connections there that we could go into. But then you're pulling that in, you're pulling your higher self in. Now the higher self is a little bit more advanced, so you may not have access to that yet, but let's say you're using a spirit, that's fine, because your higher self exists. It's still there. You just may not be aware of it. You may not have unlocked that yet. It takes a lot of initiations to fully unlock that. But you pull that spirit in, and you write out the end. You search up the end, figure out what the end is for that spirit. This is all based off your own research. And then you create a ritual where you're empowering the spirit and you're writing the end. and you're saying the N, and then you're asking for, I want to improve my awareness. For this, I want to improve my awareness to a level that I've never experienced before, and I want to improve my psychic senses. I want to overall become a more aware person in the way that's going to suit my true will and help me accomplish my purpose here on earth. And then you write that out, simple as a ritual. And then next thing you know, you draw the sigil of that spirit that you're trying to, that you're doing the ritual with. And, you could either spill your blood on it, you could just sit there and meditate on it. Like spilling your blood on it is going to empower it even more. But some people aren't going to do that. So then you can gaze at the sigil, you can empower it by gazing into it and putting your intention into that sigil. And you may get responses back. You may get your mind may start to alter because that spirit is now speaking to you through that gateway, through that portal. And, it's just further getting you into a powerful state of mind. And, you create your own ritual. Then next thing you know, 3 days later, you're experiencing this massive state of awareness. Okay. So the reason why I'm talking about this right now is because that's exactly how I did a lucid dream. I took a ritual from Azazel, and I didn't actually create this one on my own. That's what I most likely will do now. But I took a ritual from Azazel, from a guy named VK Jahanam from his WordPress, and it was about lucid dreaming. And I did that ritual, and I did it in a very, I went to the beach. It was a cold, windy day. It was considered cold and windy. There was not that many people out there, but I just took my shirt off and I went crazy and I started doing this ritual. The moon was out and everything. And then I go home, and next thing you know, I have the most crazy lucid dream. And that was the lucid dream I was telling you about, where I'm moving objects, I'm communicating through my mind. And I've never had a lucid dream up until that point on that level. There were some times where I had dreams where I was aware that I was dreaming, and that was cool, but I didn't have control. This time I had full control. And that's when I realized, wow, there's a massive power in ritual. There's massive power in being specific with your ritual. There's massive power in lucid dreaming, because once again, there's a reason, there's a purpose behind lucid dreaming. Okay, there's a purpose. I learned those things. Those are just attributes and skills that are waiting for me on the other side of the veil, and I'm trying to pierce that and take a hold of those. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? It's very powerful stuff. So other than that, that is the best technique that you can use. Create your own ritual to astral project. Okay, create your own ritual. And I went into that. I went into how you can do that. Okay, if you are not able to do a ritual successfully, then you need to start working with a spirit, with one of your guides. You need to start gazing at a sigil, and you need to work with it until you become good. You need to start talking to that spirit and saying, I want to be good at magic. I want to be good at doing a ritual, and start speaking these things. And then let the spirit have freedom and say, do what you need to do to change my mindset to make me good at this, or fill in the blank, at astral projection, lucid dreaming, improving my psychic senses, whatever it is. Give the spirit permission, because then that spirit will start to work through you and you will go through the changes. Now, I also want to say this. If you really aren't ready for that, if you aren't ready to be good at this and master this, then don't say you are, because the types of mindsets that you're going to have to go through, and the types of initiations that are going to happen to you, you may not be ready for. You may not be able to handle. So it's not for everybody, but if you're taking it serious and you really want to get results, if you want to be the best you that you can be, then do what I'm telling you. Other than that, I'm going to leave this video here. Like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell, because I'm posting videos as often as I can. If you have any questions, up to 3 questions, you can send me them right now. I'll respond to them through video message. It's going to be $5 though, and you can send me the $5 through my Venmo. I will break down the questions step by step as best as I can to answer them. And then once again, you can just send me the $5 on Venmo. Let me know that you sent the $5, and then I'll answer the questions. Then you can drop to the link down below where I have my sigil merch. Ooh, powerful sigil merch. Okay, it's a black tee with a Hecate sigil on it. Good quality shirt. And if you place your order on Streamlabs, they will ship it straight to your door. Once again, it's a very powerful shirt. This is Hecate Sigil. This sigil has so much power in it, and it can literally cause specific situations in your day-to-day life to manifest. Just watch. Okay? And then other than that, go to the link below this one, below the Streamlabs, and that's going to take you to my Facebook community. Okay, this is where I'm trying to get a bunch of like-minded people together, where we talk about, you know, very powerful concepts when it comes to spirituality, and I also put some exclusive content on there as well, in the form of like pictures with quotes and things in that nature. So if you're a good fit, definitely go ahead and try and get into the Facebook community, and then I'll add you in. And other than that, that's pretty much going to wrap it up. So I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.